Yo, Zenon here. I'm gonna try and one take a Holy Priest guide. It might take an hour, depending on how much detail I go into. But if you're just here to look for a talent code and look for stats, then the talent codes will be linked below in the video. And then stats are verse mastery, always. No matter the season, you just want verse mastery if you want to do the most healing. I'll get into the other stats later. Yeah. I'll try to okay, here's the thing. I'll try to fundamentally teach you Holy Priest. I'm not here to just like, oh, this is the talents right now that you play. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna try and make you understand my thought process throughout the entire thing. Because I think what I'm doing, and people like say that I'm really good at Holy Priest, right? What I'm doing is really good, right? But in my mind, what I'm doing is nothing special at all, right? I'm not really doing anything special. I'm just going off muscle memory because I played so much more games than other people. So therefore, I feel like anyone can do what I do, as long as you put a little bit of effort into it. Okay, first off, talents. You can't play a class without talents, even though I thought about trying it, but I'm schizo. Okay, I'm going to try to go through every single talent, try to make you understand what is needed, what is not, what is mandatory, what is not, what is like a change talent, or like something you can change, something you can't change. Same as fundamentally, but I tried to go into more detail, but it didn't make any fucking sense, right? Whatever. Okay, we start with Shadow Fiend. At the very top, or rather, okay, I need to reiterate, because I'm rambling on myself. I'm going to teach you how to make a Holy Priest spec. No matter what season it is, no matter if stuff gets changed, you will understand how to make a Holy Priest spec. So you'll never need to ask me or anyone else, hey, what can I have a spec, please? Because you'll know how to make it yourself, right? Okay, so we go from the very top. Shadow Fiend. Gives mana, 3-minute cooldown. It does a little bit of damage. Little tip. Its attack speed is based on your haste, so if you have more haste, it will attack faster and generating you more mana. Right? It's not that much mana, but over the course of a game, if you use it twice, it will add up to a lot, and it'll add up to like it may make the difference, right? How to use Shadow Fiend, because we're always going to take this talent, by the way. Just quickly, how to use Shadow Fiend. When you're 90% mana, just press Shadow Fiend. There's no downside. There's nothing at all. If you see you're 90% mana and your Shadow Fiend is off cooldown, just press it. Because the likelihood is you'll just generate the mana back. You might not even lose on mana, but just press it anyway, just in case, right? So you want Shadow Fiend all the time. Okay, we go down one. Death. You always want death, no matter what. You cannot play the game without death. It breaks CC for you. Executes people for you. Yeah, if you don't know what deathing is, if you're like completely new to priest, or didn't know about the mechanic in general, let's say the enemy mage is casting polymorph on you. At 90% of the cast, you press Shadow of Death. The Shadow of Death will do damage to you by the time the sheep lands on you, breaking the sheep. This works for most CCs that are breakable with damage. So I'm talking Sleepwalk from Evoker, Fear from Warlock, Fear from Priest, Scatter from Hunter, Trap from Hunter. The list goes on. If any CC breaks some damage, you can probably death it, right? Okay. We go down one. Death of Madness, otherwise known as Double Death. You never really want this. Death as a Holy Priest doesn't do that much damage to justify ever taking this. But you might think, oh, but we need to go down one. This is where this side comes in. Okay, this is a dead talent point, by the way. Don't consider this. Phantasm? Okay, I just want to say, this is always a dead talent point. Unless death does 20% of someone's health, this will always be dead. So if there's a patch in the future where death is doing a lot of damage, you can consider this, right? But as of right now, in the past 5 years, death hasn't done more damage than maybe 3 to 4% of someone's health. You press it, if it kills them, good job, but you shouldn't use the talent point on it, right? So as of right now, and for the past 5 years, Double Death, Death of Madness, has been a dead talent point. You can't take it as Holy Priest. You'll see why later with the other talents, because you eventually get starved talent points, right? Okay. Phantasm. Fade, removes all snares, and removes all snares. Perfect. You struggle with mobility on Priest, so you always want Phantasm, right? And we'll get on to later that you have things like improve Fade, but I don't want to skip ahead too much. Okay. Improved Purify. This is really good into things like Shadow Priests, Ferals, anything with a disease like DK. It removes that. It makes sure Dispel. I don't think Dispel's in the tree, but Dispel, Purify. It makes it so this also removes diseases, right? So if you're facing a class like this, a class that I've just mentioned, Improved Purify gains value, right? So as of right now, we can just say, oh, we're going to face a Feral? Okay, we place this. We place the template here, sorry. Okay. Feather. We always want Feather, no matter what. The game is not playable without Feather. If Feather ever gets changed or removed, Priest will be in a much worse off spot, but yeah. This is always must take talents. Okay, now we get into a bit more situational talents, but yeah, we'll see. Protective Light and from Darkness from Light. This is a choice node. Protective Light. Casting Flash on yourself reduces all damage you take by 10% for 10 seconds. If you're being attacked, or you think you're being cleaved, or you think you're taking too much damage, you just take this talent, right? You just take it. It's always good, no matter what. Even if it's only an Athlete Lock or a Shadow Priest dotting you, just taking 10% less damage the entire game, basically, is perfect, right? Like, the less damage is good. Now, the Trace Node, from Darkness Comes Light. Each time Shadow of Pain or Holy Fire deals damage, the healing of your next flash shield is increased by 3% up to a maximum of 60%. So this is 20 stacks. And what you can do with this talent is, let's say there's 3 people in an arena. Like 1, 2, 3. You can Shadow of Pain this guy, Shadow of Pain this guy, Shadow of Pain this guy. And then every tick will give you 3% healing on your next flash shield. And then eventually, if you have Holy Fires out, you're just constantly getting these stacks, meaning every single flash shield you press at a certain point will be increased by up to like 40 to 60%, depending on how like fast how fast it's ticking, how many dots you have out, etc. So if you're not being trained, or you feel like you're not taking damage, then this becomes the best talent, right? In this choice node. So just think about it. If you're ever going to take damage, you take Protective Light. If you never take damage and you feel like you have a lot of stuff to do, so if you're facing, I don't know, what's a comp that you never take damage from? I'm blanking. You get the point, right? I'm not here to make examples. I'm here to, like, you know. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. This is why you choose it. If you ever take damage, you take this. If you don't feel like you're taking damage, or you feel like the damage you're taking is negligible, then you'd take this just to do more healing with the flash shield. Okay, next. Holy Nova. Gets people out of stealth. It's a staple. It's been in the game since TPC. I'm sure you all know what Holy Nova is. But in this expansion, it also cooldown reductions your thingy, your chest eyes. But I don't really want to get into modifiers and stuff yet. But you could say, okay, I can do it like this. You can say that Holy Nova is good if I'm facing a rogue. So as for right now, we can just say, oh, we can take it, right? And then we can move on, and we can come back to this later, because I want to make a point out of this. Focus spending. Prayer bending does 45% increase healing. Perfect. Our entire spec is based around POM since the dawn of time. So we just take it. Perfect. 45%, it's very simple. We just take it. This is basically a locked talent point, because 45% is too much to ignore. So it's basically a locked talent point, right? Okay, we go down. These are more situational now. Again, this is the same thought process as Protective Light. If you're taking magic damage, you take this. If you're taking physical damage, you take this. However, actually, I want to skip that. I'll come back to it. Let's just say we're taking magic damage. So we just take this, right? Okay, we go next. Rhapsody. Holy Nova isn't a thing that you do damage with. We're not playing Mythic Plus. Ignore this. This is a dead talent. Leap of Faith. Perfect ability. It's like one of the best abilities ever invented in WoW's history. I love this ability. It grips anyone you're targeting, or it grips the person you're targeting directly to you. 46 yard range, or 40 yard range without this talent. It's a lot talent point. You always take this, no matter what. Shekel Undead. Okay, if you're facing a DK, that's the only thing you can Shekel, I think, in the game anymore. Yeah, if you're facing a DK, you can check all his pets, his all of his other pets and things like this. I was gonna say Gargoyle, but that doesn't exist anymore. But if you really want to like cook a DK, you can play Shackle Undead to stop his pets. Okay, so we'll just keep continuing, right? By this point, if you're thinking like you don't have enough time to get down, I'll explain why after. Okay, here. Sheer Terror increases the damage threshold of your Psychic Extreme by 75%. So what this means is your fear breaks less. So if you're playing with a dot class or everyone's being cleaved, or like a Frost DK or something like this, if you're playing an Aphelilock, then you can consider this talent, right? I don't know exact numbers, but I can put it to you like this. Without this talent, you can smite once into a fear, and then it won't break. But if you smite twice, it'll break. But with Sheer Terror, if your second smite doesn't crit, you can smite twice. That is sort of the damage threshold on fear. So just try to think of it like that. That's at least that's the way I think of it. It's really good if someone's being dotted. It's really good if you think it's going to break easy. So yeah, perfect talent if you don't want your fear to break. Really good. Next, Void Tendrils. I'm sure you've all seen this. It's been in the game for 10 years almost. It's been on and off. Sometimes it's been removed, sometimes it's brought back. Roots people around you. But note that this root is killable. So if they target the root, they can kill it and get out with the root early. But you can heal this root. You can shield this root. Maybe I can go and show you somewhere. I need to find a mob. I don't want to actually. I lied. Because then I have to like, press the talents and like actually get roots. I actually have roots. Okay, wait. I'm gonna do this and show you. Okay, where's a mob? Thank you. Here's a mob. Okay, I root him. I target the root. I shield the roots. This is what I've been doing into warriors and stuff, because warriors tend to like mortal strike it once and it dies. I have a little less health because it scales from your health, but in PvP it's like 1.4 million health right now. Go away. So if you want to min-max this roots, because you're probably going to take it at some point, this little tidbit, whatever the fuck that is, that saying is, you can shield the roots. Something you can do as well is if you're running away after the roots, you can sanctify yourself and the roots, and you'll heal the root. Okay, but that's for later. Okay, so let's just say we'll take root for this example. Okay, perfect. Okay, next, MC. I'm sure you all know what MC is. Mind control. You take control of the person's player. It costs 50,000 mana. You shouldn't spam this because you'll go but this is really good just for the fact of you can bait kicks with it. And you have very little spells on Shadow School. So you can, let's say you're 80% health. And the warrior's training you. You cast an MC on him. He either gets MC'd or kicks it, right? Of course, I'm not like thinking about Stormbolt and Reflect and things like this, but let's just simplify it a bit. You cast an MC on you. You cast an MC on him. He kicks it, and then you cast a flash heal on yourself afterwards. And then after the flash heals are done, you're full health. You cast an MC on him again, and he has nothing to stop it, right? In this perfect world where he doesn't have Reflect or Stormbolt keybound, but sure, same thing. I can make that example with a rogue or a DH, but I chose warrior because I'm stupid. Whatever. Mind control. It's really good for CC. I don't think I really need to explain mind control in depth more, but again, this is, I feel like, a locked talent points. It's too good not to have. I'll get into more reasons why later, but I'll just move on for now. Okay. Words of the Pious. For 12 seconds after casting Powered Shield, you do 10% more damage with Smite and Holy Fire. So 10% more and healing with Holy Nova and damage with Smite. You don't really get to cast Smite that much in a real game. So you don't really want to take Words of the Pious ever. Unless you're like a Schizo like me and tend to try and do as much damage as possible. But for all intents and purposes, this is basically unusable. I'll get into other reasons why later, because you don't have a talent point, but yeah. Master Spell. Take Master Spell. Everyone knows what Master Spell does. It removes Block, Bubble, Bop, Cyclones, It AoE dispels your team. It AoE purges the enemy team. Perfect. Okay. Move with Grace. 30-second CTR on Leap of Faith. So usually Leap of Faith is a 1 minute 30 cooldown, but because of my talent points before I right-clicked everything to show you this, it shows 1 minute, but it's 1 minute 30 cooldown. So with this talent, it makes it a 1 minute cooldown, right? Perfect. We get grip more. Perfect. PI. I'm sure we all know what PI is. If you play PvE, you hate this button. If you play PvP, you love this button. 20% haste for yourself. 20% haste for someone else. Perfect. Okay. Now we get into like the semi-dead talents. Sanguine Teachings and Vampiric Embrace, completely useless. Never even consider taking these talents ever in your entire life. You don't have an ability to proc this. It's shadow damage only, and you don't have a single shadow damaging ability. You can consider mind games, but I'm not taking a talent point on a 2 minute cooldown for an ability that does 200k damage, and it's going to heal 40% of that damage. You can, yeah. I'm going to slur. Not slur. Fuck me, not slur. Jesus Christ, not slur. I'm not going to curse. I'm not restarting because I'm 16 minutes in. You can fuck off. You know what I meant. I'm not going to curse. Or try to. Thank you. Okay. We don't take this, meaning these talents are untakeable. Or rather, this talent is untakeable. And this talent. Okay. Words of the Pious. Like, we already did that. Inspiration. Good into melee teams, but you don't have enough crit to justify it. You have 5% crit. You don't gear crit. No matter how many times I am Walnuts types in my chat crit, you don't gear crit. And, 5% of the time you're going to get this buff, so it's not really worth it. If you're trying to min-max into a melee-only team, you can take it, but it's not really takeable. Mental Agility, Mana reduction on Purge, Master Spell, and Dispel, 50%, but I think it's nerfed by to 25% of PvP. But irregardless of the nerf, still good, perfect talent, more mana is good, right? Body and Soul, you get a little sprint on your shield. Perfect, right? However, you don't use shield that much as Holy. So usually this is kind of a dead talent point because you have to press shield to get value out of this. So you can't really do it, right? Like you don't press shield that often as Holy to even justify taking this. So for now we're gonna skip it. Basically this is WPI. You don't need to think about this at all. All you need to know is now when you PI someone else, you get PI. That's it. So, meaning you should never only PI yourself. That's it. PI other people, you get PI too, you're golden. Okay. Void Shield. Untakeable. You don't have enough value in Powered Shield to even take this talent. Apathy. Your Holy Fire critical reduces movement speed, blah blah blah. Again, you have 5% crits. So 5% of your Holy Fires that you cast on average will give this buff. And is this worth taking a talent point for? No. Right? Okay. Unwavering Will. Cast reduction while you're about 75% health. Perfect. This is what you want. Next. Twist of Fate. This is what you want. Perfect. 35. When you heal someone below 35% or damaging them below 35%, you get 10% healing and damage. You don't need to know anything. You don't need to think about it. It's just a talent point you need to take. Right? Okay, next. Yeah, we get into like some min-maxy things you can do. Some people like Angel's Mercy because of the Desperate Prayer. CDR. But I don't see the reason why I don't take this. And it's Binding Heals. 20% of heal or fast heal that you do on other targets also heals you. So, because of the talent above it, and because of other things that I'll get into later, I think I've said that 10 times and I'll stop, I'm sorry. You always want to try and be high health to get value out of this, right? Meaning, this talent is just objectively better than this. Because 20 seconds of Desperate 20 seconds of Desperate Prayer is not worth just passive healing yourself the entire game. Okay. I'm dying a bit. I'm sorry. Surge of Light. You always want Surge of Light no matter what. Instant fast shield procs. You can never go wrong. Perfect. don't think you have to know anything about this, I can give you a little tip, I guess. If you're low mana, let's say you're 20% mana, and nothing's happening in your game, and your guy's like 70% health, just cast Smite. Smite is very low mana cost, and you have a chance to proc a flash heal proc, right? Proc a flash heal doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Cast a Smite if someone's 70% health. If you get a proc, perfect. Smite costs no mana anyway. Basically, it goes like 0.1% of your mana. Just a small little tip. Yeah, I'll go next. Powered Life or Benevolence? Okay. I prefer Powered Life because of its modifiers that in the Holy Tree and the Oracle Tree. Obviously, this will change in the future. Like, these talents might change in the future. This talent might change in the future. These talents might change in the future, but as of right now, Powered Life is just better because of its modifiers. These modifiers can change, meaning Benevolence can be better. So if you ever read your abilities and say, hey, Resonant Words no longer affects Powered Life, or hey, I can no longer use Powered Life below 50%, or hey, they just nerfed Powered Life healing this week by X%, then you can consider Benevolence. Because 3% healing on everything is always good, right? You have to think about it, you're just doing 3% more healing, right? So just think about how you want to play, and how the game affects your buttons, right? So, because let's say tomorrow they nerfed Powered Life by 15%, right? Okay, it needs to be more than that to be worth, by the way. Let's say they nerfed it by 35% tomorrow. Then you could say, oh, my Powered Life doesn't feel like it heals a lot. It's not worth the global, meaning I can just choose this. So it's like, okay, sure. This is how you think about everything, right? Okay, I'll just go into the next. Divine Star and Halo. I think I'll try and speed up because I feel like this is going to be a 4-hour guide if I like explain every single Mind King ability. Okay. Divine Star, useless. Never play this ability in your entire life. I don't care what you're saying. It costs 50,000 mana. That's the same as a Serenity, basically. To heal for 70,000 when Serenity heals for 1.7 million. I'm never speccing this in my life. Halo. You only play Halo if you play Archon. That's it. You have no other use for it. That's it. That's all I'll say about that. Because it's very obvious, right? If you play Archon, a tree based around Halo, you have to spec Halo. Let's be real here. Translucent Image, good. 10% damage reduction on your Fade. We've already established that Fade is really good because it removes snares. So having 10% damage reduction on it is just a bonus, right? I'll just go down one. Reduce the cooldown of your Fade by 5 seconds. Perfect. But, as you see, we only have 0 talent points left. GG. Okay, well, I'll just keep tweaking. We just want this. We want 2 stacks of this, right? Because 10 seconds makes your Fade 20-second cooldown, meaning every single 20 seconds you can press Fade and remove a slow. Press Fade and, you know, because of things like phase shift as well. Because of this talent gets better. You have to take this. It has too many implications. I'm sure if any of you have played Priest since Shadowlands, I'm sure all of you have pressed Fade and thought, oh my god, this is so cool, I just avoided that guy's sheep or that guy's kidney or, you know, whatever, right? But back to the smaller point of it removes slows, having a shorter cooldown is perfect. Okay, now we run into the issue of we have no talent points left. And you see we're missing a bunch. We're missing Void Shift, we're missing things like Angelic Bulwark, whatever. So, now we have to think. What do we do? What do we drop? What can we drop? So, because I'm a nerd and I know this, you have to, if this is the first time you've ever seen it, doing it yourself, you have to like manually do it, because if you do too many times like this, it will become red, right? So, what can we remove? What are things that are situational? Okay, so spell warding, situational, because you don't always need the damage reduction. Sure, it's nice, but you don't always need it. So this is a situational talent, or rather, it's become a situational talent because of the fact that we need more talent points. So what else? Shackle Undead. You're not always facing a DK, so you don't always need Shackle Undead. So this means we can go even further down the tree. So we get another point here, right? And then we get into Void Shift. I've kind of skipped over Void Shift and like talked over myself, but Void Shift is life swap. Swaps your health with the person you're targeting. Ignores dampening. Ignores life. Ignores healing reduction effects. Perfect. Essence Devour. If you take this, you're a complete psychopath. I don't know what to tell you. If you think Essence Devour is ever good over Void Shift, you are completely psycho. I don't know what to say to you. You're a lost cause. Okay, that's it. Void Shift, perfect. So, can we find any other situational talents? Can we remove Improve Purify? Sure. Because we don't always face someone with a disease, so we don't always need this talent. Right? And then you could say things like, okay, Move with Grace is a talent that you don't always need, because you don't always need Life Grip. Okay, sure. So now, where do we put these 3 talent points? Okay, Phantom Reach. Increases the range of most of your abilities. Really nice thingies. Text Wizard by 15%. But basically what this means is all of your abilities get a 36-yard range. So just here, my Purge is increased to 34. My Shadow Fiend is 46. My Death is 46. My Serenity is 46. It's just a perfect talent. You always want this talent. It's too good not to take. It means you can outrange people faster, more, right? Okay, we have 2 talent points now. Now you have to think, what is less situational? What are things that we can always have? Or rather, that we can always gain value from? Okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking Move with Grace. 30-second CDR on grip, perfect. Gripping someone out of a fight is effectively healing them, right? Because you grip them away, so you don't have to heal them as much, so you save yourself some mana, you save yourself some cooldowns, etc., etc. Okay, what else? You could argue any of these abilities, not these. Don't ever take these. If you take these, I'll hit you. In game. Okay. What else? What else is less situational, do you think? You think about it for a sec. In my mind, it's Roots. Root is good into almost everything. Even if you root a mage, so your warrior can attack him, or your feral can attack him, it's good, right? The same can be said about Sheer Terror. It's good most of the time, because most of the time you're going to fear a guy with dots, or someone low health, or something like this. Meaning, this talent point here is a situational talent point that you can take out if you feel like you don't need any of them, and you're getting trained by a mage, you take this. And then you can take this. What else is situational, do you think? Holy Nova. Holy Nova is kind of eh. You get people out of stealth with it, sure. You CDR your Serenity with it, not Serenity, your Chastise with it, sure. But you don't always need it. It costs 40,000 mana. I'm in combat, I'm annoyed, go away. Okay, now what? Where do we put this talent point? We can put it back into Roots. Meaning, your flex points become Roots, you can take away. Protective Light, you can take away. Spellboarding, you can take away. Okay, what? Where did I mess up? Whatever, man. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is, these talent points that's like, you think are situational, are your flex talent points. Oh, because I have to spend talent points, of course. What am I saying? It becomes your flex talent point, so I need to put a talent point into it unlocks, right? Jesus Christ. Again, it's been what? 30 minutes, I'm not retaking this. Deal with it. Okay. So it becomes a thing of, if you feel like you're pressing shield a lot, take Body and Soul. If you feel like you're dying to melees, take Inspiration. If you feel like you're dying a lot, you can take away Inspiration and get 2 points in this. Or you can take like this into this. So basically, I have 4 talent points to play with, right? So basically, what you see here, above, all here, are all basically mandatory talents that you can't really replace, right? And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm trying to make you understand how I'm going to do the Holy Priest tree, right? because I'm trying to teach you how to make a spec. So, all it is if you feel like you're using grip more, press this. If you feel like you're getting trained, press this. If you feel like you're getting trained by a melee, press this. If you feel like you need more tankiness against a melee, take this. If you feel like this, you don't need the grip because you're being trained, you can take this. So your spec becomes very versatile a lot of the time because you can change these abilities. If you feel like you're dying to a mage, you can take this. If you feel like you need to help your team, you take this. You know, it's all situational. Those 4 talent points that I just showed you, like these talent points, excluding these talents here, are all basically mandatory. I do include Halo into this because if you play Archon, Halo becomes mandatory. But if you're not playing Halo, you can also right-click this. So if you're playing Oracle, you have 5 talent points to play with. So it's just a matter of, if I'm facing a feral, I play this. If I'm dying to the feral, I play this. If I still dying to the feral, I play this. If I'm still dying to the feral, I play this. If I'm still playing to the feral, I play this, right? There's so many iterations you can do with it that it becomes like very flexible. But the talents, like all this talent, this talent, this talent, this talent, this, all this is all mandatory. You can never remove this. Basically, you can argue that MC is a flex point, but there's no way. I hard disagree with anyone. Casting MC just to get a kick is so insane. Casting MC to cover someone is so insane. So that's the priest tree. So we're going to apply the same logic to the holy priest tree. So what do we need? What do we don't need? Okay, so sanctify, need. Guardian, need. Chastise, need. Like you can't even progress down the tree without taking these things. Okay, Imperial Blaze. This is a situational, but also, what's the word? Not mandatory, but you kind of need it anyway to go down in the tree even more. So we're just going to take it for now because if you don't know what it does, it makes it so after you press Chastise, your next 2 Holy Fires are free. Okay, free and instant. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm starting. I've been streaming for 12 hours, by the way. Yeah, good luck. So, we take this. Hollywood Chastise now stuns the target for 4 seconds and not bringing about any damage. Without this talent, Chastise becomes an incap and it removes all dots. So, if you want to remove your friend's Apotheosis dots, sure, untick this talent. But if you don't, then tick it. Okay, next. Guardian Angel and Restitution. You can play Restitution in things like Battleground Blitz if you really want, because it's basically a second life, so it's so insane, but it's every 10 minutes. So basically, you can think of it as like Res Legendary from Shadowlands. You can take this, but what do you lose for it? What's the other talent node? Guardian Angel. TLDR, this just makes your Guardian Angel a 60-second cooldown. Right? 60 seconds instead of 3 minutes. Meaning it changes the way that you press your abilities. So instead of pressing Guardian to save someone so it procs, you press Guardian to Serenity someone for all of their health. I'm in out of PvP right now, so I'm not like scaled up. But a Serenity Guardian is usually more than someone's total health bar. So, what does that mean? We always need to take this. Always. Always Guardian Angel. Okay. We're just going to try and be a bit faster, because I really want to get into like the nitty-gritty of stuff. Okay. Burning Vehemence. Holy Fire does more damage. Insane. We want to do more damage? Sure. Perfect. Voice of Harmony. Prayer of Mending. Do I really want to read all that? Pause and read it, please, because I'm not reading all of that. Basically, it makes it so other things CDR your holy words. Right? So, how do I say this? How do I simplify this more than what you see on screen? It just makes your gameplay smoother, having this talent. So basically, it's a lock talent. Afterlife. Increase the duration of Spiritual Redemption by 50% and all of its ranges by 50%. The reason why you would take this talent is because it affects the Spirit of the Redeemer PvP talent. Without this talent, this lasts 6 seconds. With this talent, it lasts 9. Because it was like nerfed by 1 second. It used to be 10 seconds, but they nerfed it. Unlucky. Okay, what next? Cosmic Ripple. When your holy words finish their cooldown, you do a burst of healing. Sure, we can take this. Divine Hymn. Dude, everyone knows what Divine Hymn is. Why am I overcomplicating this now? Do I skip? Do I like... Okay. I will just continue as I have been. I shouldn't overthink. Okay. Divine Hymn. You channel. You give everyone a healing increase. Up to 20%. Lasting 15 seconds, I think. Yeah, 15 seconds. Everyone's taking 20% increased healing for 15 seconds. You want to use this, ideally, while you're in angel form. I'll get into PvP towns later, but you only want to use Divine Hymn while you're in angel form. Basically. But, okay, so basically, a quick tip. Every time you press angel form, you press Divine Hymn. At the very start, doesn't matter. Ignore anything I'm going to say later in the future. What did I just say, bro? Later. Whatever, man, you know what I mean. Okay. You press Divine Hymn in angel form, GG. Benediction. I skipped over this for a sec. Benediction, Prayer of Mending has a 12% chance to leave renew. Perfect. Sure. We're pumming a lot in 2s, 3s, Blitz, RBG. When you're role playing in Goldshire, you're pressing Pom, right? So we want to leave Pom. We want to leave renew on people after the Pom bounces. Sure. 10% mana. Sure. Holy Mending. When Prayer of Mending jumps to a target affected by renew, it heals a little bit more. Okay, sure. We could take this. I'm going to do exactly the same way I did here, by the way. Renewed Faith. Your healing increased by... your healing on allies with your renew is increased by 10%. Oh my god, I'm illiterate, actually. Jesus Christ. Renewed Faith. Yes, we want this. 10% more healing. Perfect. Seraphic Crescendo. 60 seconds less on Divine Hymn. We always want this, no matter what. You can justify Gales of Song in something like Blitz or RBG or Epic BGs or something like this, because it is just a lot more healing. The tick rate scales with haste, by the way, so it will give more poms the more haste you have. So if you have Bloodlust and PI, it's going to do it like every 0.6 seconds. So if you're in a BG, for example, and you're in AV, you have this talent, you are legit going to do 50 million HPS because of this. But for general play, you just want Seraphic Crescendo, because it reduces by 60 seconds, meaning every single Spirit of Redeemer, you can press Divine Hymn. Perfect. Divine Hymn, Symbols of Hope, gives mana, reduces friendly cooldowns by 30 seconds. It doesn't say, it does. I thought it would say 60 seconds, but it was nerfed to PV as well. We want this, perfect. Divine Service, Pom heals more for the more bounces, perfect. Pom, sure, perfect. Apotheosis, we want this because it's the biggest cooldown. If you don't know what Apotheosis is, it speeds up the rate of cooldown reduction on all of your holy words and reduces the mana cost by 100%. I don't know why I'm reading the ability out to you like you don't have eyes, but yeah. Something that to note as well, I don't even want to know if I want to like give tips right now. I can do it later. Fuck, man. It also gives you a charge of all your holy words, right? So if I press Sanctify and Serenity, and I'm gonna go chastise this guy, and then I will press Apotheosis, I'll get all 3 back. This is something some people don't know or don't realize. This is something you should really consider, basically, when you're pressing it. Okay. Empowered Renew gives it Renew a cooldown, makes it CDR your Sanctify, and heals for a lot more. Okay, sure, we'll take this. Flash shield, blah blah blah, crits. Okay. Meaning, with base crit levels, 5%. Okay, go to talents, please. Dude! Okay. With 5% crit, with 0% with 0 crits in your gear, your flash shield will have a 20% chance to crit, giving things like inspiration, a little bit more value, but not that much more value. Because you still have to cast the flash shield to get this, right? And it's not guaranteed to every 5 flash shields on average, you're gonna get an inspiration. So you have to think like, is that worth the talent points? If not, then just take something else, right? Like, I'm still talking about this because this still matters. Okay, but in general, for HPS reasons, we're going to take this because critting a heal is good, and we need to go down. We need to go down to Resonant Words. Resonant Words has been in the game since Shadowlands, in the form of a conduit. Basically, after using a holy word, you get this buff, meaning your next heal, flash heal, or prayer of healing, you don't play prayer of healing because you're not a psychopath, I hope, is increased by 40%. Since you're cycling through so many holy words all the time, you always have one of these. Tip, by the way. Actually, I don't want to give a tip. Go away. I will say things later. Okay, so we just want resonant words. Perfect. Okay, Miracle Worker, 2 charges of stuff. Perfect. Okay, Divinity. Increases healing while in Apotheosis. Okay, we can see value of this, and you get extra heals. Okay, sure. We can take this. Holy Celerity. 15 seconds reduction on your holy words permanently. So much as it's a base 45-second cooldown. This is a base 45-second cooldown. What this means is you need to cast 3 less things to CD out your holy word abilities less often, just because of this one talent. Some people said to me today that like they was thinking about skipping this talent, but the value this talent has in base like mana alone and time alone is going to save you more games than anything else in your entire tree, probably. You're just going to get more serenities, more chastises, more sanctifies. Perfect. We just want this. Say your prayers. 15% chance to not consume a charge when it jumps. Okay, we can see that. It's good. Okay, we're gonna run to the issue of not enough talent points. So we're gonna have to go back up and see what we can drop, and see what's less valuable, and see what we don't need, right? So we'll just I guess I can just like go through talents and spend them, I guess. 12 lights, 25%. This is useless. Never take this. This is raid talent. Not even worth it in epic PGs. Never take this talent in your entire life. Unless that number says 50%, then never take it. Thank you. Trail fights. 25% of your flash shield, heal, and power life is replicated to the previous target you used those spells with. This is really good into cleave matchups. Things where everyone's getting dotted. It helps with AoE healing a bunch. It also, side note, it also does this as well. Binding heal. Right? So, if I flash shield this tree, and then flash shield this post, and then keep flash shielding the post, this guy's getting, the tree is getting flash shield, this guy's getting flash shield, and I'm getting flash shield. So I'm doing basically 3 flash shields at once, and no, this doesn't CTR because that would be completely insane. Actually, I just thought about that. If that's how that worked, I'd be like screaming at the top of rooftops. But just in pure healing alone, you now heal 3 people at once because of Trail Fight. So for now, let's just take it. Light of the Naru increases the CDR rate of your spells by 10 seconds. 10%. Dude, I was thinking, I haven't explained what the CDR mechanic is, but I really hope if you're looking for a Holy Priest guide, you've read your abilities and realized that your abilities CDR. If not, please tell me. Maybe next time I'll go into more detail because I didn't think I needed to go that into much detail. Do you guys know what Serenity is? Wait, do you guys know what anything is? Do you know what Flash Heal is? Oh my god, maybe I've like skipped over some stuff. Do you guys know what I heal? Do you know what World of Warcraft is? Actually? Oh my god, imagine. Okay. Reduces the rate of your CDR by 10%. Increases the rate of your CDR by 10%. However, when looking at this talent, you might think, oh my god, this is insane. But then what you have to do is go to your spellbook. And then we find Serendipity. 6 seconds. 6 seconds. 4 seconds. Right? You can read it. I'm not reading all of this. You have eyes. Thank you. So what this means, this 1 talent point on this, let's say the flash heal, it becomes 0.6 seconds, right? Meaning, do we really want to consider this a talent point? Because at 2 talent points, it becomes 1.2 seconds, right? So that's how the math works, yes. It becomes 1.2 seconds extra. So it'll be 7.2 seconds on the flash shield, which is good, sure. But is it worth a talent point? Probably not. Because we're still missing all of these talents. Right? Again, I'm just teaching you how to create a Holy Priest spec, so you never need another guide ever again. So, Light in the Darkness increases healing with Sanctify and Serenity by a lot, and increases the radius of Sanctify by a lot. Good talent points. Okay, now we run into the issue that we did over here. Now we have to think, what can we replace? What can we remove? What's not mandatory? Because again, because I'm a nerd and I know this, I'm thinking of something like Cosmic Ripple. Small healing, I think it's like a 20% spell power modifier. So it's almost never going to be good. It's mostly a raid thing. It does a lot in raid, but in PvP, especially in 2s and 3s, this is completely useless. You can justify this in Blitz, because you're healing up to 6, 8, 7, whatever people, 8 people in Blitz, but you know, it's usually someone defending. That's why I said 6. I'm not stupid. So, if you're in a team fight, this is probably going to do a bit, but not a lot. But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to remove this, meaning we remove Holy Mending, right? Again, this is like a 15% spell power modifier. So this is not going to do much healing unless your palm is bouncing every 0.1 seconds. But yeah, we need talent points to sacrifice, so we're going to sacrifice these 2. Okay. We're going to take Light in the Darkness, because we need more Serenity healing. Perfect. We want more Serenity healing. Okay. Prismatic Echoes. I really hope people are still watching, by the way, and you haven't, like, skipped ahead. Or rather, like, you know, close the video. Jesus Christ. I hope not. Okay. Prismatic Echoes. On paper, this looks really good, but recently I've come to learn that 2 talent points in this equal 3% mastery. In the fact that if you have 30% mastery, it is 10% of your current mastery added to your mastery healing. So it's actually only a very small increase. So taking 2 talent points for this isn't really worth it. However, if you want to make a full renew build, then I can see your argument that, you know, because it increases renew by 30% as well. So if you really want to take this just for renew healing, be my guest. Okay, we need other things to drop to get down to here, because we need things like Light Well, Lasting Words, Divine Word, Desperate Times. And I'll get into this later. Desperate Times, 20% healing when someone's below 50%. Insane, completely insane. So we need this talent. So we need to sacrifice talents for it. So what can we remove? We can remove damage, I guess. If you want to remove damage, you can remove mana. You can't remove mana. Unlucky. So, what does that tell us? We need all of these talent points to get down, so we have to sacrifice something here. But we can put one back. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer damage? Because you need to put one up here to go down. So what do you prefer? Cosmic Ripple, more mana, or damage? Personally, I prefer damage, so we need to put a talent point here. Okay, so we've already established that we need Desperate Times. So Desperate Times. So where else are we getting these talent points? I'm thinking Trail of Light, because Flash Shield isn't that much of your healing. You have to cast to get it. You can get procs for it, but you have to cast to get it. And everything else up here seems too good to not take, right? 40% healing in your Flash Shield, perfect. 40% on Serenity, perfect. Double Serenity, perfect. Insane CDR. And Prayer of Mending not consuming a charge. Okay. So, we take away Trail of Light. And again, because this talent point is useless, we take away both the Prismatic Echoes. Okay, so we take one Desperate Times. So we have one talent point to play with. I have to read through the abilities. Lightweaver, useless. Don't ever take this. Lightwell, a little thing on the ground. It will heal people within a very long range. That's it. It just does everything for you. It's automatic. Put it in the middle of the arena, and nothing matters. Don't think about this at all. It applies renew too, so it gives you this as well. Yeah, that's it. Divine Image. I have to take it to show you, but I think you understand what Divine Image is. Divine Image, after you cast a Holy Word spell, you get like a little Naru thing next to you. Each Naru thing is 36% spell power, stacking. So if you press... I don't have it, unlucky. So if you press 3 Holy Words in a row, you're basically doing double healing. Okay, Lasting Words. Your things apply Renew, which is what we had in Dragonfight. Insane. This was a tier set, if you remember, if anyone played back then. But it was a tier set, so how do you say this in a better context? Because of talents like Renewed Faith, Lasting Words has higher value, because if you don't have Renew up, they're going to take 10% less healing, and 10% less healing over the course of a 3-minute game will end up being millions of healing, right? So you can consider Lasting Words. Or if you want, if you don't really care about that and you're fine with manually pressing Renew, then you can consider Divine Word. It's more of a burst cooldown. It's an extra button. I know some people hate that, but it's an extra button. Please pause to read it, because I'm not reading this. So basically, in 3v3 and Shuffle, you want to press Divine Word on Serenity, basically. In 2v2, you want to press Divine Word on Chastise. And if you're role-playing, you want to press Divine Word on Sanctify. I'm joking, never press it on Sanctify, ever. Ever. It does the least amount of healing I've ever seen out of any ability. That's it. Yeah, in 3v3 and Shuffle, you press Divine Word on Serenity, and in 2v2, you press Divine Word on Chastise to do more damage. Is the talent we consider as well, but we have one talent point only. So, what do we put it on? We can read other abilities first. After a prayer bending heals 50 times, gain Apotheosis for 8 seconds. Okay, insane. Epiphany, your Holy Words have a 25% chance to reset the cooldown of prayer bending. Okay, insane. So, we can put this here for testing purposes. Okay, we are still missing a bunch of things that we would like to get, right? So we can, like, hemorrhage some things and take some things away. Pretty sure we can take away Resonant Words. You can't take away this. So we can take away Resonant Words, but Resonant Words has, like, the way I like to think about it is, it has guaranteed value. You don't have to think about it; it's always there. No matter where you are in the game, no matter what's happening, this is always affecting you. So, Resonant Words is kind of locked. Like, it's the locked talent points. So we always want this. So this brings us to, what else can we take away? What else can we hemorrhage? Okay, we can't take away this because then we would lose this. So, again, we can't take away this because then we would lose this and this. Can't take away this. This is too much value. So it means Divinity is the worst talent out of all of these. I love Divinity. I love the heals that it gives. But in this scenario right now, with these talents that we have, because we can't take away this, it's too good. We can't take away this, too good. We can't take away this, too good. We can't take away this, too good. You can argue that you can take away these two. You can make this argument, sure. But I think this talent has too much value because of the reasons I said before with Resonant Words. It has permanent value. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to do anything. This is always active. No matter what you're pressing, no matter what spec you are, no matter what expansion you're playing in, this talent can be considered always. But it is, how do I say this? You can say that I prefer something else, and that's perfectly fine. So, for testing purposes, you can just remove these two. Sure. And, meaning you can remove Divinity. So, from this point onwards, it's the same thing as you saw here. So now we're left with 3 talent points that you can play around with. Because everything else here is completely locked. Can you remove... No, you can't remove Empowered Renew. By the way, I just want to mention Empowered Renew. Some people don't like playing with it because of its cooldown. And they feel like they don't get enough renew uptime. So if you really, really, really hate Empowered Renew, you can take away it. And either get Mana or Cosmic Ripple. If you really hate Empowered Renew. But if you really want to be good, then Powder New is too good not to take. It's too much healing. But yeah, for this purpose, I can just like put it here. Okay, again, we have 3 talent points to play with, and we can take anything. We can even take Divinity again. We can take this again. You can take this again. Whatever, right? But this is all situational. This is all a numbers game as well. Meaning, the talents you see above are the talents you can never really change. Right? You can't take away this, 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 you can't take away this. So now, from this point onwards, these are the talent points that you can change. So it's all about what you're facing and who you're playing with. It's a lot more situational as the priest tree, because all of this, like, you can say that I don't want Phantom Reach, I'd rather have Angelic Bulwark. Sure, 100%. But it's very rare that you'll do that, because this has always value. Like, even if you're being trained, chastising someone from far away is more worth than a little bit of a shield. Right? Maybe I shouldn't have gone into that because that was like a bad example. Because you can't just do this if you're being trained. If you know for a fact you're being trained, this is a perfect thing. I shouldn't really make that comparison. But I'm sure you understand what I was trying to make, the point I was trying to make. Okay. Again, we're left with these 3 talent points. Why do you want them? Okay, so it doesn't really matter. All that matters is how you want to play and what you're facing. So if you want to play Lightwell, go ahead, play Lightwell. If you want to play Divinity, go ahead, play Divinity. If you want to play Divine Word, go ahead, play Divine Word. That's how simple it is, by the way. That thought process right here is how simple it is to make a talent tree. You just go down, find out what you need, like what you 100% need, and then find out what you can cut. People can make the argument that I don't want Symbols of Hope, I'd rather have Enlightenment. Sure, 100%, go ahead. This is probably more mana than this in the long run, if you're just talking about mana, but the reason why I don't do this, and I always take Symbols of Hope, is because of its CDR value. It reduces the CD of a major defensive by 30 seconds. I can list the spells below. Maybe I should have gone into Symbols of Hope more. But, yeah. Things like Warlock Wall, Bark Skin, Shield Wall from Prot Warriors, if you want to count that. Die by the Sword for Warriors. Again, I will have the list of spells linked below. That's it. Okay. Now we're left with these 2 talent points, right? It actually doesn't matter where you put them. It's all personal preference. If you want to go full Palm Spec, go ahead. If you want to play BG Blitz, this is a good BG Blitz build right here. Like this part of the talent tree. Good BG Blitz build. But if you want more Flash Heal or Heal, and you want to play Lightwell as well, sure, go ahead. There is no definitive best spec because there are so many forms of content right now that you can change it every single game. Okay. But yeah, that's how simple it is. So for right now, I'm just going to put it in this, and this, and this. Whatever, right? As we've established, those 3 talent points are your personal decisions. Because I could sit here and argue math that, oh my god, right, if someone comes to me and says, oh my god, this talent is bad, okay, but all you have to do is nerf Pom by 30%, and then this talent becomes worthless, right? Because Pom gains less value. And if they buff Flash Shield, oh, we want Flash Shield talents. Okay, sure. That's how simple it is. Right there. That's it. This is what... dude, if I'm just going around in circles. That's how simple it is to make a talent tree. If you've listened this far and you think I'm gonna just link to a talent tree, yeah, that's it. I've talked for an hour about talents. Do you understand how fucking psycho I am? But yeah, that's it. So for right now, I'll just put it here, put it here, put it here. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter. Those 3 talent points are depending... I'll close it off with those 3 talent points are depending on what you're facing and how you want to play. If you want Lightwell, go ahead. If you want Divine Image, go ahead. If you want Divine Word, go ahead. Right? I will go into more specifics later. Oracle. Dude, dude, I spent an hour talking about talents, bro. Do you understand how fucking psycho I am? What the fuck is going on? Okay. Do I want to go through every single Oracle talent? Oh my god. Okay, the passives, you don't need to know what the passives do, because they are passives. You don't need to think about passives, you don't need to do anything. Do I? Oh my god, I should. Okay, this passive doesn't matter. This passive doesn't matter. This does not change how your gameplay works. This doesn't change how your gameplay works. Powered life, now is usable by 50%. So meaning this talent gains more value. So powered life. Guardian Spirit lasts an additional 2 seconds. Sure, perfect. It's a passive. Fate Bender and Perfect Vision. Oh my god, I didn't even go through. Dude, I've spoken for an hour about talents and explaining every single thing. What am I doing with my life? I haven't even gotten to like the cool things yet. If you're listening to me right now, I just want you to know you're as psycho as I am for listening this far. Just saying. Okay. Premonition. Oh my god, do I just cut it to make a fucking part 2? Dude. Nah, fuck it, bro. It's gonna be a 2-hour guide. I don't care anymore. Okay. Okay, I'll explain Premonition now. Halo, I don't really need to explain because you just press Halo and you get flash shield procs. Very simply. You get flash shield procs, you get a longer angel with Halo, you get more with PI. That's it. It's very cut and dry. You press Halo, you spec Halo, you press Halo, you get flash shield procs from Halo. That's it. It's very cut and dry. You don't have to think about anything. You have to do anything. Okay. Premonition. Premonition of Insights, Premonition Piety, Premonition Solace. Okay. The only thing you need to care about is Premonition of Insight and Premonition of Solace. Premonition of Insight is CDR for your next 3 abilities. I get this question 10,000 times a day. Hey, what do I use Premonition of Insight on? And everyone's instant reaction is, oh, do I use it on Palm? Yeah, sure. You can use it on Palm. But do you use 3 on Palm? No, because look, I'm at 14 stacks of Palm right now. Do I use 1 more Palm? What happens if I use 1 more Palm? I gain 0 Palms. Okay. And because of Twin Sight, every Palm equals 9 Palms. So instead of it, I've just said Palm 7 times in a row. Every Palm equals 9 Palms. So if you use Premonition of Insight on 2 Palms, and you get unlucky with those, you're going to delete a few Palms, right? Because as we've established, Palms only stack to 14. So, only use 1 Palm on Premonition of Insight, and then if those Palms bounce enough, you can use 2, and if those Palms bounce enough, you can use 3. But if they're not bouncing, and you see your partner has 14 stacks of Palm, you pressing Palm again will delete at least 13 of those Palms, right? Probably, because if you Palm this tree, and the Palm bounces the ugly tree over here, it will go from 9. I'll go to 7, and then okay. What exactly will happen? I Palm the tree for 7. 2 will go on this guy who already has 14, so the 2 get deleted. 7 will go on this guy, and then 6 will bounce to this guy, meaning 6 will also get deleted. So I'm deleting 8 Palms because I'm using Premonition to like weirdly, right? Meaning Premonition of Insight should be used with care on Palm. I don't really think about what I'm pressing it on, as long as I'm not pressing it on something like Serenity or Sanctify. Even Chastise is good because 10 seconds left in Chastise means I don't have to smite as often. And in 3v3, it's like hard to smite. It's hard to Holy Fire without being kicked on it or CC'd, because everyone and their grandmother, for some reason, only kicks Holy Fire. No matter who you are, they only kick Holy Fire. Your mage can be casting next to you, by the way, an Arcanosphere, whatever it's called, and you're going to get kicked on Holy Fire. That's how disgusting it is. Yeah, random Holy Priest Rage, sorry. Okay, but yeah, you can use it on anything. It doesn't matter at all. You can use it on Palm, you can use it on Powered Life, you can use it on Death. It doesn't matter. Like it comes with what you're facing, what's happening in this moment. It can't. It's not just oh, I have insight. I'm gonna palm 10 times in a row. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! You have to think about it for a second because you delete half of those palms. So you just press it, press a palm, see if it bounces. If it doesn't bounce, press something else. Maybe cast a flash shield to like save them. Maybe dispel something because it also works on dispel. So yeah, that's it. And the other thing, Solace, the other thing you have to care about, it just gives a shield and gives damage reduction. That's the third one. And Piety just increases your healing. Very simple. Why am I explaining talents? Okay, Divine Feathers, you take this. If you want double grip, you take this. Prophet's Will, you take more healing, it's now to 15% in PvP. You don't really want Desperate Measures because it's kind of worthless. So I'll just take this to heal myself more because of this talent. So I'm just healing myself for even more while healing other people, right? So I just want this. Twin Sight, can't not take. Fate Bender or Perfect Vision. I think if you did the math, Fate Bender is just better forever. Because it's just more, right? You have to cycle through this like a bajillion times before this one gains value. And like realistically, like just having more of something is better than having less of something but more, right? I don't know. Yeah, take Fate Bender, don't care. Clairvoyance, the fourth press of this will press all three at once. So you'll get Solace, Piety, and Insights. That's it. It's very simple. You'll get all three at once. Again, if you have any questions about this, please feel free to ask. But yeah. Okay. Finally, for the love of God, I've gone to the end of talents. Okay. PvP talents. How we talked about locked talents before, things you can't change. Exposed to the Redeemer is one of them. You can never, ever, ever take away this talent. If you do, you're a psychopath. That's all I'll say about that. This talent is too OP. You become unkickable, unCCable, unrangeable, because you have this talent. So, this is like a god form, basically, right? You just always want this talent no matter what. Okay, now we get to the situational talents. Everything here is situational. Everything. You can make an argument for every single one of them in a different scenario. If you're in a BG and you have a bunch of casters, Sanctified Ground, sure. If you don't want to get CC'd, Phase Shift, sure. If you want to have faster MD, MD, sure. All of these have merits. Now it's just, again, a thing about what you want more of. Like, what do you want more? So, in my mind, Phase Shift is a locked talent. Because it's too good not to take. It's 20 seconds, and you get 1 second of immunity. So it's like outplay potential. So if you see this horseman running at you, and you're like, oh no, this guy's gonna kidney me. 3, 2, 1, press fade. I faded the horse's kidney. Congratulations. So this is semi-locked, basically. You can play without it, but it's too low cooldown and too good not to take. Am I recording? Oh my god, imagine I wasn't recording. Hello? Wait. Am I recording? It says I'm recording. I bloody well hope so. Okay. Whew. Okay. What can you take here? Okay, third one. Again, everything. Okay, the third one is 100% situational. This is locked. This is semi-situational because you can justify playing without this if you're playing in a blitz or a very specific twos matchup or a skirmish or world PvP, anything. You can play without Phase Shift. You can't play without Spirit of the Redeemer. Okay, the third one is 100% situational. You can make an argument for every single one of them. Yeah. So, it's just this third talent point basically is left unticked. Basically, if you're facing a lot of things you need to dispel, you play this. If you're playing into a shaman or a druid, you play this. If your team is getting owned, you play Ray, right? If you're getting CC'd a lot, you play Holy Ward. if you want me to explain what every one of these abilities do, then I don't know. I think you should just read them, because this third is 100% like flexible. There's no better sort of thing. Every single one of them has merit in some situation. So you should just think like, oh, do I want to grip all of my teammates on top of me and annoy them? Sure, you can play Absolute Faith. Do you want to roleplay as a BFA Holy Priest? You can play Great Seal. Do you want to steal the mage's polymorph? You play Thought Steal. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, I've gotten to the end of talents. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll talk very quickly about gear. Okay, sorry, no I won't. I hope someone listened to an entire hour of that, or at least somewhat, and skipped ahead of it a bit. Because what I've just tried to do is teach you how to make a spec. Because if you ever watch my stream, my spec is always the same at the very top. And then a few talent points are different. Right? So this might be different, this one might be different. I'm gonna put this here. This one might be different. These might be different. This might be different. Right? But it is always the same roughly. Right? And this is what I'm just trying to teach you. Because now, none of you, after watching this, will ever need another Holy Priest guide for the rest of your life until this entire tree gets reworked. Because it was that simple. I just sat here and yapped, but you could sit here and do this in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You think about it, right? But I guess then you could say, like, what do you value more? Like, you can say, like, I don't want to play Apotheosis, I want to play Mana. Okay, but you're, like, you have to be realistic here, right? Yeah. Okay, back to the thing. I hope someone understood what I was trying to say with this entire thing, because I've just taught you how to make a Holy Priest guide, a Holy Priest spec for the rest of your life, right? It's just about knowing what your locked talents are, knowing what your semi-locked talents are, and knowing basically what your abilities do, right? That's it. Okay. Very quickly, I'll talk about gear, since like every guide is supposed to have that, I guess. First, a mastery in every slot. You can justify playing haste. If you only play 2v2, you can play full haste. You'll do very low healing, but you'll do very big damage. That's it. That's all I'll talk about gear about. Okay. I'll just click change because I want talents now. Okay. Now I'm gonna try and give you a bunch of tips on stuff. Okay. This is very unscripted, by the way. I hope someone's not thinking that I'm sitting here reading a fucking script. Okay. Okay. What do I do? Dude, someone said to me in stream today that what I should do, but now I've forgotten. Okay. I'm gonna try and remember some tips and tricks that you can go through. And things that you can like look at, right? Things you can do with it. Okay. A few things. How do I want to order this actually? Sorry. Like losing my train of thoughts. Okay. I don't know where to go now, actually. Do I just go into like very minute things? Okay, first thing I'll talk about is resonant words. Okay, get your notepads out because these are like very min-maxy things you can do with Holy Priests. Okay, resonant words. Always stacks to 1, basically. So you never want to double Serenity someone, right? Because double Serenity them loses 1 resonant words. And then if you sanctify as well, you lose another resonant words. And you sanctify again, you lose another resonant words. You've just lost 4 resonant words, so you've lost 40% flash heal and 4 flash heals. Right? This is something you never want to do. Just in general, you never want to Serenity someone double in a row. You want to like Serenity them and then cast a flash heal. And then Serenity them again and then cast a flash heal. And then maybe press a palm. And you press a flash heal into a Serenity. into the flash shield. Just so you're like cycling through your resonant words, right? That's it. What else? Okay. Something you want to really abuse with Holy Priest is Desperate Times. Now I'm getting to the nitty gritty of stuff. Something you want to abuse with Holy Priest is Desperate Times. A lot of your healing is very bursty, so you want to try and min-max the value of that. So Desperate Times increases your healing rate done by 20% when they're below 50%, right? Sure. So what you want to do, if someone is, let's compare it actually. Just in PvP, just in my current gear, whatever, my Serenity at 100% health does 2.27 million. And then I'm going to try and not kill myself. Okay, 2.27 million before, now it's... Bro. 2.7 million, so now I added 500,000 healing just because I was lower health. So what you can do with this is purposefully wait for someone to drop below 50% and then Serenity them, right? And you might just think like, oh, it's only 20%, it's only 500k. But then you have to consider your mastery, right? I haven't really talked about my mastery because I feel like a lot of people watching this have already played Holy Priest and you have a keyboard and mouse and you've like been at a PC your entire life, so you know what Holy Priest mastery is. So the more you heal, the more this hot is, right? So you want to try and like min-max every single percentage point you can, because 20% ends up being more than 20% healing because of your mastery. If you didn't have mastery, sure, you could just say, oh, it's only 500k, whatever, I don't care. But then 500k of, oh my god, math. Oh my god, I can't find it. Thank you. Because you're doing more healing, and then 30% of your healing is also a hot, you want to just like try and min-max every percentage point, right? As I said before. So if someone's at 50% health, you let them drop 1%, and then you Serenity them, basically. Very simple. Other things, like very small tips and tricks, I guess. When you're playing Empowered Renew, you can play Lasting Words as well. Not many people know this. So Lasting Words, when you're Serenity or Sanctify, it applies Renew. So let's just do this. You would think that, oh my god, this is so pointless, it doesn't do anything. But what you can do, this is a 42k Renew, right, from Sanctify. 42k, but and it lasts a few seconds. What you can do is renew yourself first. This is an Empowered Renew, I'm just scaled down, remember? 93k. And then what you can do is press a Serenity to extend it, and it's still 93k. Nothing you have on your entire talent tree will replace this Empowered Renew. So now you'll get to a point in a game where every single person on your team has an Empowered Renew. And I wish I had the details, and I can't be bothered to log. But I've had games where my Renew is 10-15% of my healing. Because I've gotten to a point in the game where I have Empowered Renew on me, I have Empowered Renew on my teammate here, 2 people. And all I'm doing is just like Serenity them, sanctifying all 3 of us so it extends it. And then I press Palm, and then Benediction also extends Empowered Renew. So you get to these points where all 3 players have Empowered Renew. Yeah, it's just like an insane amount of healing, right? This is why I consider Empowered Renew a locked talent points. Because even without Lasting Words, just Benediction alone will refresh your Empowered Renew, right? What else? Do I... How do I do this? I feel like I'll just go on like small rants about stuff. I don't think that's the point of a guide, right? Do I just call this part 1? Okay. No, I kind of want it to be one guide. Okay. I don't know, like, if you guys have hands or not. That's the thing. Should I go into healing rotation, I guess?
Because I feel like talking about all this min-max stuff without talking about healing rotation is kind of pointless. Okay. Okay. Did I port a Dornagle or something? Is that gonna heal? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not editing this in any way, shape, or form. This is one take. It's just me yapping and telling you a lot of things that I know. Okay. Healing rotation. Holy Priest healing rotation is probably the easiest healing rotation that's ever been in the game because it's reactive. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to think about anything. If your guy is low health, your first reaction is Serenity. That's it. And then, if they're still low health, you can cast a Flash Heal. Because you don't want to double Serenity, right? If they're still low health again, you press Serenity again. That's the very basics of Holy Priests. You could have a toddler press this, and he could heal someone for a minute, maybe. If you did everything else for it, if you did everything else for the child, he could press Flash Heal and Serenity very easily. But now we get into the actual rotation of it. You want to press palm off CD, by the way. Off CD. This button should not be off CD for more than 3 seconds. I'm telling you, if you're struggling with this, you need a weak aura that covers your entire screen and makes nothing seeable until palm is pressed. The game shouldn't be... You shouldn't be allowed to play the game until palm is pressed. The only exception is if they're 1% health, then you can Serenity. But then you have to palm. The reason why is palm is the most efficient heal in the entire game. Ignoring right now, like with current buffs and whatever, palm is by far the most efficient heal in the entire game. It scales with your mastery, so each palm tick will give a mastery hot. Each palm tick has a chance to leave a renew. What else? Each palm press CDRs your Serenity by 4 seconds. So you want to press this ability off CD, no matter what is happening. I was reminding myself, by the way, I didn't explain something in the Oracle tree. Assured safety. Pair of Mending casts Pair of Mending casts apply a powered shield to your target to 100% effectiveness. This also gives everything that powered shield gives. So you'll see priests do a spec like this, because every single palm will also give shield and crystalline reflection. So what you can do is look at my buffs right now. I'm gonna press one palm. Ready? 3, 2, 1, one palm. I got shield. It instantly healed me. I got the sprint, and I got mastery hot from crystalline reflection. This is why we want to press palm off CD. I don't care what's happening. If your people in your group are above 40% health, you press palm. Very simple. Next in line, I guess, is powered life. Because I've already explained that Serenity, like if they're dying, you press Serenity. Very simple. If they're dying, press Serenity. And then if you have nothing to do, press palm. And then if they're 35% health, you press Powered Life. Powered Life has like really good value. It's the same mana cost as Serenity. As you see here, 62,500. And then Powered Life is also 62,500. It does heal a little bit less though, as you see on the tooltips. I'll type PvP. 4.2 million, 2.4 million. Heals a lot less than Serenity. But you have to remember too that it scales with resonant words. So it's going to do 40% more with resonant words, right? So what does it do now? 2.6 million. What does the Serenity do? Too many numbers I can't see, but more. Yeah. It If Powered Life is usable, press Powered Life. If Pom is usable, press Pom. If they're still dying, press Serenity. Okay, now we get to the smaller things. Every single person on your team needs to renew. Every single person. If that's from Empowered Renew, if that's from Lasting Words, if that's from Lightwell, I don't care where you get this renew from. All of your teammates need a renew at some point in the game, just because of this talent alone. 10% healing increase is too much to ignore. Before this patch, it was 6%. It was nerfed down from 10% to 6%, and now they buffed it again to 10% from 6%. So 6% was like kind of iffy. It like mattered in long games, but in short games it like was whatever. You can make an argument that 6% is like whatever, so I can send a Serenity into it. But now they've increased it to 10%, and 10% is too much to ignore. You can't ignore 10% healing increase. You just can't. So all of your teammates need a renew at some points. So this talks about renew uptime, which ties in again to Pom being on cooldown, because Pom gives renew. Meaning, like, if let's say you're not playing Lightwell, and you're playing this, for example, and you're not playing Lasting Words, and you're playing this, whatever, right? Like the 4 talent points that we spoke about before. If you're not playing any renew talents, it puts more emphasis on pressing Pom off CD to have a higher chance. Where's my Pom going? I understand. Whatever. It has a higher chance to proc a renew. Because you just want to renew on everyone. This also goes into my point that I maybe should have mentioned before. You always want a talent that can proc a renew. So you either want Lasting Words or Lightwell. At least if you're playing in Powered Renew. If you want to play without Powered Renew, go ahead. And you don't like the renew cooldown, sure, 100%. But if you do like Empowered Renew, you need to play either Lasting Words or Lightwell. It's too much healing to ignore if you're playing Empowered Renew. So you always need at least Lightwell or Lasting Words. What else in the healing mutation? I've spoke about resonant words. So you just want to cycle through your resonant words. So let's say these guys are dying. Let's say these guys are dying, right? Look, it's Asuma. These guys are dying. You press a renew on this guy. You press a Pom on this guy. Okay, what now? They're still dying. You press a Serenity. You press a Sanctify on both of them. Because you always want to press Sanctify when there's at least 2 people. If 3, perfect. If more, perfect. Sure. Okay, so you always want to press Sanctify first. Okay, not first. I shouldn't say this. If there's multiple people, you press Sanctify. Right? But if there's only one person dying, you press Serenity. You press Pom. And if they're still dying, you press Powered Life. And then you cast a Flash Heal. And then you press Serenity again. You press a Flash Heal. You press a Renew. If there's still 2 people dying, you press a Sanctify to proc Resonant Words. And then you press a Flash Heal. Insane. You just want to cycle through your Resonant Words, basically. So, I think I've mentioned this 3 or 4 times now. You still want to overlap this. So if you want to get a weak core or some sort of tracker for it, go be my guest. But you just want to cycle through this. No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, you just want to spend your resonant words. Meaning, you want to always press Sanctify. I have seen so many people ask me, do I need to play Sanctify? Do I need to press it? Yes, you do. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Okay, I guess I can try and explain it a little bit better than I just did. Instead of just like going some fucking random tangent about nothing. Okay. Game starts. I'm standing over here by my little dwarf friend. Okay. I press Renew. I press Pom. Okay, what's happening now? My guy's dying a bit, and he's, let's say, 70%. I'll just press a Serenity to top him, and I press a Pom again. And I might, like, smite this guy and Holy Fire this guy, just to get my stacks up. I'm not playing it, but if I was playing this, like, dotting at the very start of the game is very important. And I might get a proc, right? So I'm gonna like heal this guy with procs. Insane. You know how this would be better actually? If I went to one of my VODs or so, and like VOD reviewed myself. I think. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see if I can pull up a photo view. I think it's gonna be a lot easier for me to explain my thought process while watching it instead of trying to make it up on the spots. Because even if you guys know exactly what's supposed to be pressed, I'm sure all of you would mess up too. Because it's like at the point I'm at now, it's just muscle memory. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just like pressing it. Okay, wait. Can I find a 3v3 game? Where is it? Okay. I can try and do a little VOD review. Again, this is in no order. I'm sorry if you wanted some like insanely like clean guide. I'm trying my best. I apologize. Okay. This is legit from a stream I did an hour ago or something, or 2 hours ago, whatever. Playing some random threes. This is in no way perfect. Okay. Game starts. I stun Demon Hunter on his hunt, right? I prevent a bunch of damage, so I don't have to heal it later. Do I? Dude, this thing is annoying. Okay, I'll go back. I'm VOD reviewing myself, yeah. Okay, I see him casting the hunt. I stun it midair, sure. I use one Holy Fire proc. Sadly, in this game, I'm not playing from Darkness Comes Light, which is whatever. I get rescued out of the beam. I'm still trying to press palm. I'm just pressing Holy Fires because I feel like this is pointless. Okay. I chastise this guy's hunt. Sure. And I use one Holy Fire proc. Why am I doing this? I feel like I've skipped so much. I feel like someone watching this still doesn't understand how they heal. Oh my god, I need to go back and like... Okay. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try and I'm trying to explain the healing rotation a bit more. Oh my god, I've just ranted for so long. I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry that for anyone watching this. Oh my god. Imagine I just scripted this instead. It'll be so much better. Okay. Healing rotation. Palm on CD the entire game, no matter what. Renew up the entire game, no matter what. You want to cycle through at least one holy word the entire time, so you have a resonant word for every single fast heal. So if you have resonant words up, you want to spend it before you press another holy word ability. And then you just get into this gameplay loop of pressing flash heal, reapplying renew, pressing a holy word, pressing a flash heal, reapplying renew, pressing a palm, maybe holy firing this guy, chastise this guy, holy fire him again, and then I'll serenity this guy to full health again, back to smiting this guy. This guy is losing his renew, in theory. I reapply the renew, palm was off CD again. I go back to smiting this guy. Oh, this guy's super dying now, oh my god. And then I guardian serenity him. Have I talked about guardian at all? I did. It was, I remember, it was like 40 minutes ago. It changes the way, like, this talent changes the way you use guardian. You don't want to use, I remember. Okay. I haven't really talked about damage that much, I guess. Is this a guide or is it just me ranting for 2 hours? I'm so sorry if anyone ever watches this. Jesus Christ. Okay. Why am I doing this actually? This is so bad. Is this even worth it? Dude. Okay. Press palm on CD. Always have renew up. Press the serenity if they're low. Cast a flash heal to spend your resonant words. Use chastise on CD on anyone, just because a stun and CC is the same as healing because you're preventing damage. Palm on CD again. Sanctify a lot, just to proc resonant words. If someone's super low, you can press Ray of Hope. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else. There's actually nothing else. You press Palm on CD. You set Serenity when someone's low. You cast a Flash Shield to use your resonant words. You use any ability to use proc resonant words. I didn't note it, but Chastise also gives resonant words. So if you want to chastise someone, you can try and cast a Flash Shield afterwards. Palm on CD again. Okay, one thing I want to note as well. Randomly. Oh, this is impossible, by the way. Oh my god. Sorry. One thing. Angel. Your angel rotation. I haven't spoke about this at all. When you press angel, your first global is usually divine him. So let's say this guy's dying. Okay, I'm gonna PI him, and then angel him. Okay, I'm just like healing a bunch, and then I can Serenity him if he needs more healing, and then it's casting Flash Shield over and over and over again. Palm in the angel as well. Basically, what I just did here, divine him, casting Flash Shield and Serenity worst case is your angel rotation. Nothing else should be really pressed because nothing else is really worth it. You can maybe press a Sanctify if everyone's stacked or so. But other than that, you don't really want to press any of the buttons unless you are facing an Aphly lock where you can dispel the unstable affliction without having backlash effects. So you won't take damage, you won't get silenced while you're an angel. Some people say you can do the same with Flame Shock. If you dispel a Flame Shock on someone from an Ellie Shaman or an Enhanced Shaman, you know the little thing that knocks you up in the ground is like, yeah, this will go onto your teammates. So I've killed at least 20 of my teammates in games because I've MAST dispelled Flame Shocks, and they've all of the backlash damage has gone onto him, and it's killed him from like 30%, and I'm like, oh, GG. What else? I haven't really talked about anything else. Yeah. I don't know. It feels very simple, but because because it's unscripted, maybe I'm forgetting something really obvious. So if I am, please tell me, because I'm being a moron right now, and it's 3 AM. The clock just went forward, so this might be a redo angle if this is completely unwatchable. But yeah. Okay. Do I try and VOD review myself? Is that helpful for anyone? Because I don't know. I will try. I'll try for a little bit, but I don't want to make it a 3-hour guide as well. Okay. Where is it? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Same game. I'm just going to try and go through the things that I'm doing and my thought process throughout it. Okay, so I see the Demon Hunter pressing Hunt, and something you can do on Holy Priest is stun him mid-hunt, and now this Hunt no longer does damage because it doesn't count as like anything, right? Because he's stunned, so he's just stunned here. Sometimes you'll see Demon Hunters like it'll connect to them, but it'll do no damage. So if you see a Demon Hunter flying through the air, you can either fear it or stun it. I choose to fear this guy after the chastise to force the priest to dispel, meaning maybe my dragon can sleep him off so he doesn't get dispelled or anything like this. I choose to root him. Something I didn't do just now is shield the roots, which is honestly kind of bad for me because I had like no excuse to do it. I should have dinged it. But yeah, I just used Palm. By the way, this button in the middle is the thing that I'm pressing at this current moment in time. Okay, so I'm root beamed, whatever. I'm still trying to press Palm. Okay, this is how much I've ingrained it in my brain that I need to press palm on CD, because as you saw here, my palm is 8-second cooldown. Probably 6, 5, 4. Here, right here. I'm still trying to press palm because it's ingrained into my brain that palm is close to off being cooldown, so I'm spamming it. This is how important it is. This is what you should get to. And also, the way you play Holy Priest right now is you do a lot of damage. But also in these games, I kind of forgot to play From Darkness Comes Light. So all of this damage, what I'm doing right now, would have more value if I'm playing that stacking fast shield talent at the very top here, you know? Like here. All the damage I'm doing would have more value because it would give me fast shield stacks, right? But irregardless of me having that talent or not, this is the way that you play. Like, you send the Holy Fires, you send the dots, so it's good. Okay, I pressed my... Yeah, see? I did it right here, automatically. So I'm going to press Sanctify. I press my palm again. I dispel some dots. I press a Sanctify. I smite this guy. I smite this guy. Okay, I'm doing too much damage. This isn't really maybe a good game to show it. But I'm still going to do it anyway. Okay, I press Apotheosis here because I feel like I'm going to win if I DR stun this guy. So I'm just doing some damage here. He's 50%. I DR stun him and I send a Holy Fire. He doesn't die. Unlucky. Sending more Holy Fires. Again, this is all the way you play. I'm pressing Palm on CT. This guy has Renew, he's taking damage. My Demon Hunter isn't really taking damage, so I'm not really caring about his Renew right now. I press the Sanctify. I fear everything. Press Palm again. Okay, I kind of did something bad here, but I've also just noticed that I'm not playing Resonant Words in this clip. So it's kind of excused, but if you are playing Resonant Words, then the thing I said before sounds very true, right? So we're about to like cycling through Resonant Words. Yeah, tried to cast shield, got stopped. Okay. Something I did here, by the way, that's very, 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 very disgustingly min-max. Okay, right here, you see I have 11 palms, and when I talked about before with overlapping palms, something I want to do, I don't really want to press palm right now, because there's a high likelihood of it bouncing to this guy, bouncing this guy, bouncing back to me, and then deleting a bunch of palms, right? So what I'm doing is I death the Demon Hunter to make myself take damage, and then these 11 palms bounce to my dragon. Right? And then they bounce between each other. And now I have 14 stacks again. So I'm going to try and take damage at some points. Just to make these palms bounce away from me, right? Yeah, you see? Now the palm has bounced around. And it's just going up and down, up and down, up and down. Something I just missed as well with Fade. It's very obvious to me, but it might not be obvious to you guys. But look what this druid is doing to me. Look, it's so obvious that this guy wants to mighty bash me, right? He mighty bashes me. I track it all of his GCDs, but I faded it and I immuned it, right? This was all based on just like positioning and looking at my screen. I think a lot of people struggle with this and like they don't know how to fade. So all it is very simple. This druid is close to me. I fade. I fade the bash. That's simple. Okay, see here? Okay, another thing, same clip, but this. My demon is dropping low, dropping low, dropping low, dropping low. Right here, I guardian him at 40%. Then I'm gonna Serenity him. No, I powered lifed him, sorry. I powered lifed. So I just gained the value from thingy. Desperate Times. And then instead of Ray of Hoping him, I just choose to cast the Flash Heal. Because I know for a fact I will heal so much into that. Then again, I'm still trying to press Palm. Pressing Smite because I have nothing to do now. My entire team's full health. Oh my god, this is such a bad clip actually. Did I misclick swap in this clip? Okay, he died. I need to find another clip. I need a better clip. That was disgusting. The game ended too fast. Okay, this is the long game, I know for a fact. Okay. Pressing palm on CD. I'm trying to angel early here. Angel early. I press Serenity, I press the flash shield, and then I press the Divine Hymn. The order that you press it in doesn't matter as long as you finish your Divine Hymn before Angel ends. That's it. It's very simple. You can press the Serenity into Flash Shield, or Flash Shield into Serenity, or Palm first, or Dispel first. But as long as you cast this Divine Hymn during the Angel, that you can never go wrong with it. Right? Just casting Flash Shields over and over. Okay, you see here? By the way, I can't move my character for 0.1 seconds. What is the first thing I press? Fade. I try to fade the stun, unlucky. I can't. I notice here that I'm slowed, or my character isn't moving as fast as it should move. So I just fade. That's how you should use fade. If you're not moving for 0.1 seconds as fast as you think you should move, you press fade. Like I'm trying to move forward, I'm trying to move away. I just press fade so I can move, just for a second. And then I end up fading like a bunch of damage, but that doesn't matter. You should just think of it like, I can't move my character for 1 second. Please let me move. I press fade. Here, the Demon Hunter one-shots the root before I can press anything. Okay, very small thing. I put some feathers down for MVQ here in this clip. Just because I know he's going to train the rest of Druid, so here I'm just going to put some feathers down so if the rest of Druid decides to run around the pillar, I can help him a bunch with the traits. So it's a very small thing, but I see a lot of people don't use feathers on other people. Because of the talent in the middle of the hero tree, this thing, when he walks through a feather, you also get feather, right? So if I feather this little warrior here, I'm not playing it. No, come back, Mr. Warrior. Okay, if I feather this rogue, I also get feather. So at some point during this game, when MVQ eventually runs through these feathers, I'm just going to randomly get feathered too, and I'm going to have a bunch of them back, right? So if you have nothing to do immediately, put feathers in random locations where your teammate is going to be at some point, if you have a SPEC global, and then you're just going to get a feather. It's going to be insane. A small min-max thing you can do. Okay, here I'm casting Holy Fire just to do damage. One thing I just want to note as well. Some people say in my stream that it seems like they would be scared healing like me because they're scared of getting one-shot, right? But you have to remember as a Holy Priest, all of your healing is burst healing. All of it. Look, I just strengthened this guy from 40% to 100%. And because I have a Mastery Heart, I know for a fact this guy's not going to die in the next 3 seconds. So, what does that mean? It means I can contribute some damage. It means I'm going to cast a Holy Fire. Casting a Holy Fire, casting a Smite, and I just decided to try and take him because in this clip, again, this session, I wasn't playing Resonant Words. I was playing more of a Pom build because I'm facing an Ellie Shaman and a Demon Hunter, so my Pom is going to do like ownage healing. And I have answered prayers, as you see here. So I don't really need to care or think about what my thingy is, my Resonant Words. So in this clip, the Resonant Words thing again doesn't matter. But if you are playing it, you need to always consider. You should never overlap your Holy Words. To here, my guy's full health. I've pressed Pom. I've pressed Chastised in this guy, and it's pumping damage now. I get ink out. This is fine. I'm gonna try and press Pom again now. I guarantee it. I fade me, my grip, and my Pom. Nice, insane. Something that I just noticed in this clip, which is very, very, very unlucky, but because I gripped my teammates out of like pure reaction because I got leaped to, right? Like here, I got leaped, so I grip him out of reaction, and then because I Pom, watch this. That Pom is just disappeared now. How many stacks was that? That was only 8, I think, right? So 7. Yeah, 7. You saw there for 1 microsecond. There's another thing. Pom has a bounce range, right? So no one's in his bounce range right now. So I've just lost 7 palms because of a positional error and a grip error. Like if I didn't grip, or if I moved a little bit forward and palmed him then, the palms would have bounced to me, right? But because he's on his own here, I've just lost 6 palms because only one healed him. So is this something you should really consider when you're pressing palm? Like, does it have someone to bounce to? This is a really huge thing. It'll save you so many games. Okay, I'm just pressing chastise into... Did I press chastise? No, it's probably before. Okay, I'm just pressing flash heals, and I dot him. Just keep up the pump a bit. Okay, here I made a conscious decision. I walked into the line of my Demon Hunter, right here, but because of the Twin Empress talent, I think it's called? No, Twin Sights. Because of this, 2 stacks will go on a nearby ally. So if I palm this guy, 1 palm went on this guy, and all my palms went on this guy. So in this clip, I palmed my dragon in the line of sight of my Demon Hunter. Conscious decision, by the way. Just to get Twin Sights to heal my Demon Hunter a little bit more, just for a mastery up, because it's free, right? And then the big palms will bounce between me and my dragon. Because my guy's 95% health, so it's going to top him. It's going to give him a little bit of a mastery heal. It might reapply the renew. Let's see if it does. It doesn't, unlucky. But now the palm will bounce between me and my dragon. Which is perfect, right? You know, my guy, like right here, if that palm didn't go on MBQ here, he might have been 65%, right? And then he might be in even more trouble than he would be. Right now, I still couldn't play, so now if that palm didn't hit, it would have been 45%. Right? He wouldn't have died here or anything, but it's just like a small min-maxy thing about being in palm range. Okay, here, again, there's multiple people on top of me. So what's my go-to decision? I press Sanctify. I press a palm. I can't move immediately, so I'm pressing Fade, even though I'm in Earth Grab, best ability in the game, by the way. If I'm in Earth Grab, I did a really kind of a bad fade, but it's mostly out of reaction at this point. If I don't move for legit 1 second, I'm pressing Fade. It's just muscle memory. So I press Sanctify on everyone. I try to mind control him. I talked a little bit about how to use mind control before. About how to bait kicks and stuff with it. But a lot of things I don't see is no one else would cast. People would cast mind control here, but a lot of people wouldn't cast mind control here because you know you have things to do. The Demon Hunter, everyone will think like, oh my god, the demons are gonna kick me or stun me. But if you get the mind control, no one can stop it. The elemental shaman's over here. This guy's over here. So I'm just gonna cast mind control instead of healing, instead of doing anything. I'm just gonna cast mind control. I take the Demon Hunter out of the game for 6 seconds. So when it's like this, I don't have to heal anymore. My guys have empowered renews. I will come there in a second and palm them both. I've just CC'd the Demon Hunter for 6 seconds, basically doing, let's see, 700k. I've just done, I don't know what this is, 4 million healing. If this guy continues to do 700k DPS, but then I take him out of the game for 6 seconds. So yeah, even longer, I even fear him out. Like, yeah, this is no about healing rotation. Okay, positioning. By the way, positioning. Okay. After this, I choose to fear the Demon Hunter after this, right? And then a lot of people would just like move here and then maybe smite this guy, blah blah blah. But I know for a fact I want to be far away from this Demon Hunter. I don't want to be anywhere near this guy, because then it makes my game a lot more. I don't want to emphasize that. It makes my game a lot more harder to play. So I'm gonna feather myself, run away, palm. I'm gonna make an offensive play with chastise. Then I'm gonna run away. The Demon Hunter's in Africa now. Yeah, it's chill. I press palm again. I trinket Guardian Serenity, I think. No, trinket Guardian Power Life. Yeah. Trinket, Guardian, Powered Life. And now he's completely fine. And I have Palm again in a sec. Oh, close. 2 seconds. Palm again now. I reapply Renew on my Demon Hunter. Perfect time to do it. Because my Demon Hunter is gonna like leech himself to full health rates. I know this isn't a guide about like I'm just teaching you through my like going through my thought process. So I reapply Renew on this guy because I know he's gonna go 1v1 the druid over there. So with this big Renew I don't have to heal him as much. Okay, a lot of things happening, but it's you have to really care about it. Okay, right here is a good explanation of Apotheosis. I've just used every single holy word, except from Chastise. As you see, I tried to chastise the Demon Hunter here. Yeah, you see? This button here is what I'm pressing, right? And I know for a fact I want to press Apotheosis now. So ideally I want to chastise something to put it on cooldown to then reset it to have another chastise. But because he was out of line, I decide to Apotheosis anyway because I would be too far behind in healing. Maybe it's like a minor mistake, but I ended up chastising the DH anyway. But then I've lost one chastise, right? Again, it's the thing I talked about with making sure you use every single holy word at least once before you press Apotheosis. So, but my Serenity and Sanctify are both on cooldown, so I decided to press it, right? Purge, by the way. Maybe I should talk about Purge because I just saw myself purge. So I just reapplied Dr. Boat, and okay, I'm purging. When is a good time to purge, you might be asking? When it's like this. You have nothing to do, you have no immediate buttons to press. You're facing a class that will get owned by you by purges. So for example, Resto Druid, Resto Shaman, Holy Priest, Mistweaver. When it's like this, everything's chill. My only alternative is damage. I'm gonna choose to do purges instead, right? Because purging is effective damage. Because I can Holy Fire this guy, sure I can smite this guy, but then Life Bloom, Rejuve, and Grove Tending, I think it's called, is just going to heal that damage up over time. So what I can do is purge this, this, and this. So this guy has no healing. The rest of you is dying, so he has to choose to put Huts on this guy again. So it's like effective damage, right? Because then I put this guy behind in globals. I make this guy scared for his life. I make this guy like look around, jump around, pressing Lava Burst. Yeah, see, I'm just purging a few times, purging a few times, purging a few times, purging this guy a few times. I ended up purging everything, right? So that's a really good time to purge when there's nothing else to do immediately other than damage. So you have nothing to do, and you don't really feel like doing damage, you just press purge. So even here, okay, I'll explain it again once more. My guy's in an incap. I have nothing to do. I don't have any damage to heal, really. My guy's 85%. He doesn't have an Empowered Renew, so I apply a Empowered Renew to him at 85% health. And then what I do now, I press a Pain to do damage, and then I decide to Purge. Sure, I could Smite to get a Chastise back, but I really wanted, in the moment, it's very variant, like I could like, sit here and backseat myself, like, yes, I should have Holy Fired into Smite, into then Chastise this guy, into a Holy Fire, into a Holy Fire, into death. But in the moment, I'm like not an AI robot, so I don't see everything. But in the moment, I really wanted this Life Bloom off, because I see my Dragon pumping this guy, and I really wanted this Life Bloom. I see this Druid is dying a bit. So I'm like, okay, if I just purge these hots, my Dragon's going to kill this guy in my brain. Okay, I purged him clean, purged him clean. Purge this guy. Okay. I apply a Powder Renew again. And it's going to Angel form. And him again? Perfect. Something I did here, by the way, that you should try and avoid doing, is I cancelled my him a little bit early because I got scared for my Demon Hunter's life, right? Because I was channeling him. You always want to try and get 5 him stacks before even thinking about doing something else. But as you see, his health is like very volatile. So here I end up pressing Powered Life because I didn't trust that he wouldn't die. Because right now he's very bursty. So I just ended up power lifing and cancelling it, which is something you should almost never do. You always want to try and get 5 divine hymn stacks. I can kill ground here. I press palm again. I reapply renew. I press a sanctify. Guardian, flash heal. Trying to do damage now because my guy's fine. Ideally, I should reapply renew to my dragon right here. And then look to stun the demon hunter. I've not watched this. Nice. Insane. Wow, I'm actually good at the game. What the fuck? Okay, I'm banished, but maybe I trigger top. I do. Mastered now. I can maybe fear, but what I should do here is try and fear. Okay, I just saw me press fear. I should try and fear both the DPS just so we can like chill for a sec because we're like ultra dying. But I ended up fearing the demon hunter only. If you're asking yourself like how do you use fear, obviously you know that you should fear healers, right? But in a situation like this, fearing the demon hunter just for a global. Okay. I think I'm very autismo because I saw this guy dispel. Or rather, I just saw this guy dispel right now, and it's very lucky that this fear sat because he just dispelled himself after something or something, right? Whatever he dispelled. This is the dispel icon. So, yeah, I just saw him dispel. So it's very lucky that this fear sat. But if you want an explanation on how to fear, you either fear very defensively like this if you're trying to get both. You almost never want to fear singular like this, like I just did. This is very, 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 very bad. Because usually the healer would just dispel him out of the fear, and then my fear is wasted. This is why, like, before the lightning lasso, I wanted to try and get a double fear, like right here. I was thinking, oh my god, I can double fear maybe. But I can't anymore, and my dragon's dying a lot. So I decided to single fear. It's very lucky that the druid dispelled something beforehand. My dragon broke it, but now we're fine, right? Okay, here's a perfect example of using symbols of hope, by the way. You see this cooldown, Obsidian Scales. It's 4 minutes, 15 seconds of the game. So it's completely justified to use the symbols right now, for even just for mana, because it's going to regenerate a bit of mana. But all you have to do is look at this cooldown right here. Look. Watch it. We have a symbols, it's going to reset back to... Now my dragon can play safe for a bit. Or he will feel more safe for a bit, because he has a wall back, right? He no longer has to wait 30 seconds for a wall. Okay. As a PI, I stun this guy, I'm doing damage. What I should ideally do here is try to look for a renew on my demon hunter right here. Okay, nice. Like, actually. Okay, I press a Serenity. I press a Palm. I didn't press Palm. I really hope I press Palm after this. Okay, please. Tinlin. Please. Nice. A few seconds delayed, but I was doing other things. I purged and stuff. Okay, I press a Sanctify. I thought about MDing this clone, by the way. But then I saw there was 2 seconds left in duration. Like by the time I finished the cast, it would have been 1 second. It would have been a complete wasted MD. If I chose to MD faster, if I chose to MD right this global, I kind of did, but then I kind of cancelled it. Okay. Yeah, I can see arguments for both. I think I should talk about positioning and less about what I'm pressing. Okay. My goal this game is to be away from this demon hunter, but also make the demon hunter line the druid, right? Because as you saw here, we just almost killed him. Because the druid is over here in Cambodia doing druid things, because druids don't have to heal anyone. I purged once because maybe I would get a life bloom or something. In my brain, I thought I was gonna die. This thing come save me. Good stuff. And now I'm walking behind here to force the demon hunter. If he wants to hit either of us, he has to run behind the pillar. Now, if I stun the demon hunter 0.1 seconds earlier, he would have died right here. Right? Just because of this small positional thing. I walked here. Instead of walking here or anywhere else, I decided to walk behind the pillar and bait the demon hunter to go behind the pillar on us. I would have won the game instantly if I had chastised the demon hunter a little bit faster and he wouldn't have got his death walk off. But yeah. Angel positioning, by the way, really quick. I walk into the open more, even though I'm taking more damage than Ellie. A lot of people would have maybe run here and like done nothing with this. But I decided to run here because I know my dragon has to run around at some points and do dragon things. So I choose to run here because I see my angel is up, and then I angel in everybody's line. It is not physically possible for anyone to line of sight me here. Not physically possible. They would have to be behind here or over here. One thing about angel is people tend to angel in like a really bad spot and then blame their teammates for lining when you have no excuse, very rarely, to just move a few yards and angel in a better spot. It is very rare that you have to angel in a bad spot if you're like avoiding a sheep or you know, you're very low health, so you have to spam angel in a bad spot, whatever, right? But when it's like this and I'm 50% health and I'm fine, I can just reposition from here to here and then angel, because I just want to press angel off CD. Same in shuffle, by the way. I just want to press angel off CD and just be in a good position while I'm in shuffle. While I'm in angel, this goes to shuffle and 2v2 and 3v3. And we ended up winning because we forced the demon hunters cooldowns beforehand. Yeah. I don't know what else to go into. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to call it here, I guess. But then, if you guys want like another guide about anything at all, you need to tell me. Because I've already forgotten what people have told me today in stream. Like, I don't know what exactly you want. I think, yeah. So what have you gone over? We've gone over how to make a holy priest spec. So you never need to ask me again how to make a holy priest spec or what spec is good, because you're gonna figure it out yourself. You figure out. I've told you what hero talent is good. Did I talk about ARCHON at all? It's not really a guide. It's more of a rant. Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna call it a rant, I guess. Please tell me exactly how you want me to teach you. If you've gotten this far, I love you. Thank you for watching. If I think I'm gonna call it, and then as I said, if you want me to make it something specific, like help me help you, basically. Tell me exactly what you want and I'll just do it. I don't care, I have infinite time. It's 4 AM, bro. I have to be up in 3 hours. Jesus Christ. But yeah. Okay. I will be piecing it, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. Again, if help me help you. If you need anything, tell me exactly what you want, and I'll try my best to do it. Enjoy the rest of your night, morning, evening, wherever you are. Peace.